Hey, this is James. Welcome back to the channel. I am the unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country, and I'm so glad you could be here. We're going to cover the results of the conference championship games. Um, Ironically, the last week of conference play, I finished 5-4, and this week I also finished 5-4. So I guess we can include that with the total, but I don't have the numbers with me. But anyway. Pac-12, Utah versus USC. That was Friday night. I did pick USC, and I'm really glad that they lost because I have a lot of respect for Utah and Kyle Whittingham and his program. So they won 47-24. Big 12, TCU versus Kansas State. I had picked the Horned Frogs. That game did go to overtime, and Kansas State won 31-28. Although I just don't understand how Max Duggan pretty much excuse me put that team on his back, made 4 really great runs to get the touchdown that tied the game, and then you get into overtime and you run 2 straight plays with the running back right up the middle, and I just would have done something different. Pass to the tight end, anything. It was really bad. It almost reminded me of the days when Oklahoma State had Bob Simmons as their coach, and he put his son in at running back, and they would run the ball up the middle, get 2 yards. They'd run the ball up the middle, get a yard, and all of a sudden you're 3rd and 7, and it's just a mess. The SEC championship game was LSU versus Georgia. Georgia won 50-30. I have to admit, LSU played well in the second half. They didn't give up, and I just think that LSU's got a bright future. So, ACC game was North Carolina versus Clemson. I had picked Clemson. They won 39-10. Although it was interesting, DJ, their starting quarterback, got yanked after the second possession, and they put in this Klubnik guy who finished the game 20 of 24, 279 yards, and 1 touchdown. I don't think that DJ, I can't even pronounce his last name, I don't think he should be the starting quarterback. I don't think he will. He'll probably end up in the transfer portal. It's just the Big Ten. I'm sorry, it's really late. I was trying to wait until all these games were done before I did the video. So, Purdue versus Michigan, and I did pick Michigan to win, and they did 43-22. Clemson and Michigan are sure locks for the playoff. Whatever happens to 3 and 4, I don't know. Let's see. The American, you had UCF versus Tulane. I did pick Tulane, and they won 45-28. I mean, I feel like Tulane. It would have been really cool if what would have been really cool is if TCU had won, and TCU ended up in the Sugar Bowl, not in the playoff, and then Kansas State would have ended up in the Cotton Bowl against Tulane and have them have a rematch. I thought that would have been super cool, but there's actually a small chance that TCU could end up in the playoff. Now, if they get excluded from the playoff, and either Alabama or Tennessee gets the fourth spot, you may end up seeing Tulane face TCU in the Cotton Bowl. So who knows? Fresno State versus Boise State in the Mountain West. I had picked Boise State, and man, I was wrong about that one. Fresno State 28, Boise 16. That's tough. Conference USA. Excuse me. UTSA versus North Texas. I had picked UTSA, and they won 48-20 or 49-27. And the Sun Belt, which I have to admit, I had not seen any of these teams, but I went with Coastal Carolina. I was way wrong about that. Troy won 45-28. I can't say the funny thing about Conference USA is I've seen North Texas and no, SMU is in the American, but I went to see a game at Rice, so I got to see Rice versus UTEP. So I've seen a few Conference USA, Mountain West. They're on late at night, so I've seen some of that. I've obviously seen some of the American teams. I'd seen Cincinnati. I'd seen SMU, Navy. So I knew Tulane was pretty good. But I had not seen anybody in the Sun Belt. So anyway, I went 5-4 with the picks. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern time, they should be releasing the playoff. Remember, the interesting thing about the playoff is that 1 versus 4 will be at the Peach Bowl, and I believe 2 versus 3 is going to be at the Fiesta Bowl. That's my understanding. And then the championship game, the winner of those 2 games will be in Los Angeles. So there was some people were hoping that USC would make the playoff and then get to the championship game because then they would have a clear home field advantage. And of course, with the difference in the pros versus college is that in college, you want to have one team that's going to bring a lot of people for bowl games. You want to have one team that's going to have a lot of television viewers, and then you want to have another team that's going to put a lot of people in the seats in the stadium. That is your perfect mixture for a bowl game. So, just like the Sugar Bowl, I don't know which SEC team is going to be, but I know that Kansas State, because they won the Big 12, will probably be in the Sugar Bowl. They travel well. So they're going to put butts in seats. So now you want to have whatever team doesn't make the playoff, either Alabama or Tennessee. If the committee picks Alabama number 4, I would want Tennessee to be in the Sugar Bowl. And they'll have a lot of television viewers, and heck, they're going to probably, because they're so close to they're relatively close to New Orleans, they'll probably have a decent fan presence there as well. So anyway, I've got to get to bed. I'm actually working tomorrow. I'm filling in for a friend of mine. Of course, I can't talk about my day job here. So, but anyway, let me just make one brief comment about Mason Cobb. He has declared that he's going to go into the portal on Monday. From my sources, and of course, a lot of the times that means Robert Allen, Mason Cobb was contacted by Texas A&M earlier this week. He's not even in the portal yet. That's called tampering. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what I did. I went on Twitter and I made a stink about it. And I did so to bring light to this situation and hope that somebody in the NCAA investigates this and goes to A&M. And when Mason shows up and says, were you contacted before December? Well, today's the 3rd, so 4th, 5th. Were you contacted before December 5th by Texas A&M? And something's got to happen. Because if it doesn't, these big schools are going to pick from the smaller schools. And believe me, Texas A&M has got 50,000 plus students on campus. They're a big school. Oklahoma State has 20,000 in Stillwater. It'd be closer to 30,000 if you count the Tulsa and the Oklahoma City campus. But anyway, if you feel as strongly about this as I do, send a tweet to NCAA and let them know that you do not agree with this whole, A&M should not be allowed to pick players from other schools that they feel are just going to help them. That's just, we've got to put some kind of limits on this NIL thing, because essentially what's happening right now is kids are being paid to play. So, and that's not okay. If you are new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe. And as far as those of you who have been watching, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And God willing, we'll be at 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, or I don't know. That's my goal. Of course, if you shoot at the stars and you miss, you're still flying in the clouds. So anyway, I hope you have a great night. And as always, go Pokes. Bye.